Hello and welcome to Garblag Games. Tonight we have the first episode of our new show, Electric State 101. Welcome to the Slowpocalypse. I am Pete and I am the Game Master.
Hello and good evening. I am Aldun and I will be manifesting Twonky.
Hello, my name's Millie. My character is called Blake.
Hi, I am Dennis. Today I'll be bringing Real Bucan.
Hi, I'm Rob, and I'll be playing Atticus.
Cool, excellent. So we had a first look and session 0 last time, a couple of weeks ago. But tonight we're going to do our first session and our first stop. So there's quite a structured way of doing Electric State. But I thought what would be good first is to go around everybody and talk about your dreams, your flaws, and your goal on this journey, because it's very important to the story, and hopefully I'll be able to weave some of those elements into our journey as we go. So, but I thought we'd go in reverse order rather than the same order again. So Rob, tell us a little bit about Atticus.
Right. Rob, that's me. Atticus is a veteran, and his dream is he's got a bit of a PTSD thing, and his dream is to turn guilt into something other than guilt. His flaw is he's haunted by flashbacks from the war. And his goal is to find a war buddy at the end of Route 101. And that's him.
Cool, yeah, because obviously you're a veteran of the Civil War, right?
Mm.
So the scars on the landscape are very meaningful to you, more
Yeah,
than
I
many.
did them.
Cool.
Sorry, just a moment there. Like I did that. Yeah, that was
I
me.
did that.
I feel really bad about it now, though.
Oh, okay.
Dennis, tell us a bit about Real.
Real is still dressed as a gardener, a landscaper, driven unfortunately by desperation to a more criminal path. He is still to this day wearing like his dungarees and his usual gardener's gear, but he is hoping, through absolutely no fault of his own, to get the hell out of here and build a new life down in the Sacramento River Delta, just to get away. He's slightly ashamed, maybe, by what he's done or had to do in the past.
And you scare people, right?
He might, because of what he's had to do, he probably is a bit detached from humanity.
Okay. Yep.
So that might come out.
Sure. Excellent. We've got a great start already.
We're all broken.
I should say that this is a game with mature themes of drug addiction, physical, mental trauma, and we will be visiting some of those topics as we go, but all discussed with the players and based around their backstories and their goals, rather than any kind of extra super weirdness that I may throw in for. That's Mothership Games and other games. We'll do that there. Millie, why don't you tell us a bit about Blake?
Blake Pittman is the ex-singer, lead vocalist of a band, but he's done with that. People weren't paying attention to the proper things, so now he wants to knock over his tablet on the table and make a big clash. No, he doesn't. Now he wants to. His goal is to basically set up his own cult somewhere else, where he hopefully won't get recognised for being part of a band. So his goal on this trip is to set up a compound base cult.
Compound.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel a gun battle coming on.
His dream, like he wants people to realize, to see the light, to understand that the Neuroscape is not the ascension that it is, but ascension is a thing that the humans should be doing. And his flaw is he does not care for things on this plane of existence. So yeah, he's sort of it's just money, somebody else's money, somebody else's truck, somebody else's record contract, somebody else's things. He doesn't care for them, which has probably gotten him into a bit of trouble. But yeah, that's Blake. He's charismatic leader, and we all know they're the great people to follow.
Absolutely. Thank you, Melly. And Aldoon, tell us about Twonky.
Oh, why, thank you. And so Twonky is a droid or a drone in this alt California. There's a lot of drones. You can see some of them behind some of us. And somewhere behind Twonky, although he will never admit it, is a meat sack operator who is irrelevant as far as he's concerned. Twonky is fully embodied in Twonky's drone body, which has a big yellow head with a big lightning bolt coming out the back. Pictures are available, and his dream is to let go of his human body, to fly free into the Neuroscape and escape, transcend, one might almost say. And his flaw, is it really a flaw, is that he thinks that he's better than flesh people. Well, yes. And goal previously mentioned is to transfer consciousness into the Neuroscape, to escape the meat sphere entirely and escape into the digital wonders.
I mean, that's fairly easy to do, right? So what does he... Isn't there something he wants to do before he does that?
That's what he wants to do before he does that.
I thought he wanted to check out the convergence, the intercerebral deity.
Yes.
You're still not sure what it is.
The rumoured... well, it still doesn't seem to be quite... Or at least as far as Twonky is concerned, it's not quite clear how to kind of finally break free of the flesh.
Okay.
So it's that level of transcendence, and there are rumours of emergent or convergent entities within the Neuroscape that seems to have kind of bootstrapped themselves into consciousness. And they're obviously interesting as pathways to a new way of being.
Absolutely. So we've got some people who aren't happy with this realm of existence, whether they want to go into the Neuroscape or somewhere else, we'll see. And some people who just want to live a bit of a better life in the real world, maybe. Cool. And we've got some relationships between people, haven't we? Do we have those? Aldoon, do you remember what your scores
Yes,
were?
no, I can lead off because that was kind of nicely alluded to. So Blake, Messiah Pittman,
like that. Right, I'll be write that down.
Preaches something that sounds, at least to Twonky, like it might have something to do with access to transcendence or emergence into another realm. So Twonky's quite interested in that, but also it's being preached by a meat sack, so it's a little bit conflicting.
And was it just Blake?
Yes.
Okay.
Everyone else, they're just,
Sure. That's
human.
cool. Okay, Millie, who were you?
It's reciprocal, this thing. So
Tension,
Blake,
that's the word.
tension. Yeah, Blake has tension with Twonky because it's a good idea, this ascension, this like leaving your fleshy meat sack and this sort of conversation. But it's not, the Neuroscape is not the answer, because that's just a facsimile of life. And it's proper transcendence and I don't know, higher consciousness, vibration of the universe experiencing life through itself. That is the real goal.
Okay. Was it just Twonky, or did you have anyone else?
No, there's just that one point of tension.
Okay. Cool. Dennis, Real's tension.
Real feels a bit of tension with Blake. Surprise.
Popular thing.
Real wants to make amends, wants to help people, and while Blake is also trying to help people, feels that it's completely the wrong way of doing it.
Okay.
And there's also just a bit of a general mistrust of anything in or from a neuroscape. So Twonky kind of pings that radar.
Okay. Cool.
You are welcome.
Makes sense. Not that kind of ping. And Rob, how about Atticus?
To continue the theme, I struggle with Blake, and yeah,
We all do, don't we?
yeah, it's just, oh God, really? And I'm quite fond of Twonky because he's vaguely ridiculous,
Beep, beep.
and I like his lightness, his silliness.
Okay, cool. Right. Well, let's begin. I've got some box text. You take the highway out of Santa Clarita, aiming to join the 101 in Ventura. Even though the road is clear, the peaceful view of the hills to the south struggles to keep your mind off the wanton violence you saw just yesterday. The Battle of Six Flags still pounds in the recesses of your mind as you punch a tape into the stereo and try to drown the sounds of battle. Just about an hour ahead, the 101 will take you all the way to San Francisco. From there, it's on to the Delta and hopefully some peace and quiet. Strange how even though deserted houses and boarded up business surrounded your apartment building back in SCV, it was a place of chaos and terrible noise. Blake's 94 Dodge Ram van makes steady progress on the highway. So tell me about your van. This vehicle is going to be a companion with you on the journey.
Yeah, I think Blake's van has been a companion on many journeys. It's like the old tour van that he's just been like, well, it's mine now. I need it for this portion of the existence. So property is theft, man. And so yeah, he's just taken the van. I think it had some features, didn't it? Like, hang on, where's my? It is. It's roomy, so obviously it's got like extra seats or something in the back because we need more people, and it's heavy. So clearly it's had a bunch of work done to support it just tromping around. But yeah, it's like a well-loved tour van. But it doesn't have like the band name or stuff on it.
No.
Because we needed to get in quietly.
Because you were so popular.
So we're so popular, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, look, we would have had a big tour if it wasn't for the update.
Sure, Mode 6 screwed the whole thing, right?
Screwed live economy, live gigs. Just, and I'm not performing in the Neuroscape. I'm just, it's real or it's not at all.
Okay.
So
Agreed.
yeah, it's just the van. It's like.
What color is it?
I don't know, probably like black. It's
Nice.
cool.
Okay.
Cool.
And what does it smell like?
Yeah, what does it smell like?
That's a question in the book.
Tour, like bad booze, probably tequila, cigarettes, sweat, maybe
I miss
like
those days.
yeah, maybe some bad like takeaway, like burger grease in one of the chair or that kind of stuff, like
Yeah.
one of the chairs.
There's a burger somewhere in the van, but no one can find it.
Yeah, forever.
Silent green. No.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, you cruise along the highway. As you approach Santa Paula, you can tell that something is seriously wrong. Great plumes of smoke drift across those peaceful hills, their source up ahead. The Santa Paula Airport, and more beyond, is ablaze. Ventura County Militia, we would say police normally, but Ventura County Militia cruisers sit in a line across the highway on the overpass above 10th Street. Large flashing signs point you right onto 10th, and Blake turns the wheel in compliance. The outline of old blazing drone ships south of the highway are visible as you turn onto the off-ramp. I always weird saying onto the off-ramp and roll down onto the minor roads. A snarl up of cars and vans gives you a break long enough to see the carnage. Through the underpass to the south you can see sort of wrecked old drones, clearly been sitting there for a very long time. So not drones involved in any kind of recent action. However, it looks like they have been blasted with some sort of ordnance from afar, and huge plumes of smoke are pouring out of them. And as you roll the van down the off-ramp, you have to stop because there's just traffic. And a truck coming through the underpass hasn't seen all of the people coming off, and there's a blockage going on down at the bottom, and some people have gone out of their vehicles and are shouting and swearing at each other in the road ahead of you.
Standard hominid activity.
I don't know. Do we wanna? Like, I could go down and talk to them. Do we wanna?
Yeah, that always works so well.
Mr. Trent, is this triggering for you? There are walk-ons on fire.
Yeah. If I just look at the other way, it's not happening yet.
You could just look at the traffic jam. Those are normal.
Yeah.
Someone to the left of you gets out of their car, sits on the hood, and puts on their Neurocaster.
Well, that's more triggering to me.
Oh, he's out of here.
Well, as much as I don't like that, there might be some notifications and stuff in the local Neuroscape that would explain this, or diversions and other things. We could go and I'll look at Twonky, because Twonky can't, can he? Can only do the global. Can't do a local scape.
The local is of no interest to me.
You
It
could,
is
yeah.
a pariah of the Neuroscape.
Does anyone want to do that?
I don't think
You don't have
anybody
to. You
wants
could just
to.
wait
but
for the snarl up to clear, or you could go down and interfere, or just wait it out. It's up to you.
like,
guys.
what's the road the off ramp we came down completely?
It's 2-lane off ramp coming
Yeah.
down, joining onto a 2-lane road, going through under a bridge and under the overpass, and it goes off into Santa Paula, and it goes off a 2-lane road that heads up into the town. And there's diversion signs, pointing people up that way.
And there's no other routes or anything off. Like, we can't back up a bit and
Not between you and the traffic jam.
Okay.
So the police cars over on the overpass, they were
Militia.
militia. Sorry, they were manned and they weren't derelict. They were.
No, there were
They were-
you could see people moving around, and some people placing the last big flashing arrow, that kind of thing, going. But they're not
Well, I think
far. You could run up and get the militia if you wanted to.
I don't think we need to get them involved quite yet. Someone needs to look in the paper or listen to the radio or whatever it is people do now.
I gestured to the dude on the car, yeah.
Yeah, that's what people do now.
I could access the global networks, but this may be too recent and too local.
You could try a search of the global network if you want to see if there's anything on it, but it does look like fairly recent activity.
I will ask Jeeves.
Gosh, yeah.
Okay.
We're in the right era for that as
So-
well.
I had to think about that one quite carefully.
Yeah. Right, so we're going to make a roll.
Yeah, why not?
So that will be a wits roll
No, I don't want
with the which stat is it of your Neurocaster?
that. Ooh, rolling. Woo!
Here we go. Let me just move my keyboard out of the way and get the book here.
Horrible thing. I'm just making Tonky the small phone of the van now.
Yeah. Funky, we need pizza.
I will
do you have
invent
your-
peer
you put
peer
your stats
delivery
in the-
and 0-hour economy.
Yay.
I will solve the last mile conundrum.
What Neurocaster do you have?
It's the swanky one. The Telecaster Pro.
Neurocasting, page 90 for those following along at home. We've never played this before, everyone, so bear with us while we figure out Neurocasting. So you got the Pro, so it's +3 to everything. So you got 3 gear dice on this roll. So they have to be separate. Distinguish them in some way, because if you roll a 1 on them, then it breaks.
Alright.
You could distinguish them with a 12-sided D6, for example.
Ooh.
Does that count as 1d6 or 2?
What? That's
Just
a good
check it.
question.
Just check it.
Yeah.
Still only one face on the top.
Somehow it averages out at 7. I don't know.
How many
Right.
dice am I rolling?
So wits,
Yes.
regular dice, base dice,
Which
and
is six.
and 3 gear dice.
So 9 dice?
Sounds like it.
Yay.
It's going to be quite difficult, though, for you to find it on the global network.
Yeah, no,
Because
it's fine.
it's
It's
huge.
me in this system, which means that it doesn't matter how many dice I have. Right, so I'm rolling 9 dice. I need dice cam for this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for 6s. Is that not 1s? 6s and not 1s. Oh, look, 1s. Yeah, 6 or 1. That's
It's 1s on the gear dice that you need to worry about.
Oh, is it now? Well, I got 1 on the gear dice, and I got 1 on the other dice. Oh, what are 6?
So how many
Thank you.
successes did you get?
1.
1.
It's weird.
Okay.
Searching, error.
Each time you fail a dice roll inside the Neuroscape, before pushing the roll, your bliss score increases by 1. Pushing the roll carries further risk as it can reduce your current hope. You are unable to find it. There's just the global Neuroscape is huge and multifaceted, and different parts of it are shaped in different ways, and data storage is not you're not a data miner, right? It's not your favorite activity, so you're not often doing that kind of rigorous investigation of schema and databases and all that kind of stuff. So unfortunately, you are unable to find anything. There's nothing in the news. You were digging around to see if you could find anything else, but unfortunately not.
The global news does not contain traffic reports for the 101.
I don't even own one of those things, those brain-melting neurocasters. So, Blake, you want to find out what's going on?
The guy on the sitting on the car next door takes his off and lights a cigarette and starts to just pace around his car.
Okay. I will lean out of the window and be like, "Hey, buddy.
He looks at you like, "Huh?
What's going on?"
Some asshole won't move his truck."
Oh, I thought you would like checking for updates or.
Oh shit! Yeah. No, sure. Revolutionaries raiding the old drone ships. The local military have taken them out. Pretty bad, by accounts. Local Neuroscapes all over it. Let's feel.
And I'll reach out, like, because he's smoking. I'll reach out as if like it's my turn now, kind of. See if he shares. He doesn't, but still.
Roll. What's it called?
Empathy.
That's the one. Empathy. Roll empathy. Just see that look in your eyes and that the shared pain of the traffic jam.
Yeah.
You know, it's the 90s.
Oh, I get 1-6.
He hands it to you, but keeps his hand there as if you get one and then pass it back.
All right. So yeah. While he's there, it's be like, so this is where we're heading off. Do you know any good places to stay? It looks like it's going to be a while before we head through.
This heads up into the hills. You skirt past Ojai, lap back round onto the 101 further up, other side of Santa Barbara.
Oh.
I'm not going to do lots of fake American accents because it will sound terrible.
Me too. I will fist bump and thank him, man.
High five, I think.
All right, high five. Secret cool guy handshake.
Okay.
And get
kinda
back.
Weird.
Yeah.
Does
And
kind of
then-
look at you like,
Lean back in the van and be like, revolutionaries blowing things up. Yeah.
Mhm.
Just
Atticus, you're sitting at the back, trying not to look at these guys arguing and screaming.
Mhm.
And it reminds you of encounter a roadblock that you'd had during the war, which came into, it was a horrible incident where someone fired when they shouldn't have, and it led to several people getting killed. And you kind of have this moment, you see one of them punch the other one, actually going on in the traffic jam beneath you, but several people kind of rush in, and you're sort of happy about the fact that they get drawn apart and there's no further kind of trouble. And as you guys are all sort of watching and catching up with various things, you see now that the guy goes over and moves his car, gets out of the way of the truck, and as he does, you see it's got a big dent in it, and the front passenger side, no driver's side, sorry, other side, front driver's side wheel is looking like it's gone a bit twonky, and sorry, it's gone wonky, and he kind of drives off to get out of the way of the traffic, and then the truck driver who punched the guy kind of gets up and gets in his truck and heads off the way that you guys are going. And 5 minutes later, you're moving again, and Atticus has found a road atlas and is looking through for like alternate routes. With the sun going down, you make your way through the diversions towards 101. The new route sends you up into the hills and deepening shadows. Your headlights illuminate several signs directing passing folk to nearby ranger stations or espousing the picturesque views of various lodges. The once fashionable boutique stores of Ojai are boarded up as you roll through town. Few lights in houses and few people moving around. The dual lure of LA and the Neuroscape clearly proved too strong. Another community lost on the edge of reality. The radio reports that continued bombing in the Santa Paula area and the wider Ventura area as a large offensive is launched against insurgent activity. You change the station. Another center infomercial. You skip that one too. All of you are exhausted from the escape, the diversion, and the looming threat of more violence. Everyone except Blake, who's driving, it's his van, has settled into an uneasy sleep. Even Twonky, who has to... unfortunately, the meat sack has to sleep sometimes.
I must power down.
Blake sits at the wheel and slides in another cassette. What do we hear on that cassette, Millie?
Some sort of god-awful prog rock.
Oh, yeah.
Like proper, like long synth-led intro for about 9 minutes before the first kind of lyric is hit. And the
Beautiful.
cassette sleeve is like some sort of neon blue space field with like, some sort of sci-fi kind of airbrushed picture on it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Beyond the hills, you can see lights streak through the sky. You know that the battle rages somewhere ahead. The tunes aren't working. Your mood is darker than the streets. The headlights of the Dodge splash across a vibrant sign of reds, greens, blues, and yellows. Nailed to the boards of a boarded-up business is a sign that reads, Music Festival Tonight, with a big arrow pointing right. Blake looks back at the others asleep in the van and back at the sign. The bottom half of the sign says, Reyes Creek Campground, picturesque bed and breakfast. A festival and breakfast. This sounds perfect to Blake. His excitement starts to wear thin, however, as half an hour passes, driving up further into the hills. He's starting to wonder if the others will be annoyed by such a detour, or will they agree that avoiding war is a good enough reason for now. Another hour later, and you rumble down a track between a dozen houses next to a creek. Ahead, you can see a large bonfire among the trees. You're pretty sure you can see people dancing. Rolling down the window, you hear the party. Blake spurs the van on further, following the suggestion of large, colourfully painted cardboard arrows along the road. Come this way, party here. As you pull into a large semicircular parking area, surrounded by low, mock Western buildings, a figure appears from a doorway, draped in glow sticks and tie-dye. As the van rolls into a parking space in front of him, he's bathed in the headlights. He has a large, bushy red beard and a white headband. He covers his eyes with one hand because the other one's got a big joint in it. And as you've still got the window down, you hear him say, "Hey, dudes, got any Noreen?"
No, friend. We've got. What does he say? No, friend. We've just got good vibes and good hearts.
Oh man, cool! And he sort of wanders over to the car. He's kind of, he's a big dude, but he's not overweight or anything. He's just a big chap. Mm-hmm. And he comes over and he kind of leans on the side on the edge of the window there, and kind of says, "Hey," and he trying to like look into the van. He's like, "Hey, welcome to Reyes. Man, Anna's somewhere around here. We're trying not to make too much noise." There's a giant fire behind him. You can see out in the kind of some sort of entertainment area. There seems to be like a stage and seats, sort of low benches, as it were, sort of moved to the sides. It's open air. It's really nice country here. It's warm most of the year, and you know, the kind of place that British people dream of.
Looking at the cold northwest UK.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's kind of like nodding like this, and you can tell he's high, right?
Yeah.
He's on something, maybe many things. You're not sure. And he's like, "Hey, where are you guys from, man?"
We've just come from. You see where the bombed out drones were? We were just through that way there.
I thought that was shooting stars.
No,
I made a wish.
No. Oh, that's amazing! What did you wish for?
Noreen. And then you guys arrived, and I thought, shit, my wish has been made true. Like these dudes must have something.
We might have. We don't have what you want, but we might have what you need. And like Blake's gonna like push the door open. Like Blake's gonna get out.
Sure.
And whoever's in the driver's like in the passenger side with Blake in the front is just gonna sort of like shake them and be like, "Hey, look, there's fire, and we can have a bit of a party before we
Fire.
All the talking and all the noise and the movement of the vehicle now does wake you all. You are awakened. Whether you not want to show that or not, it's up to you guys.
Like, what?
Do I know you, dude? He says to you, Blake. Do I know you?
Don't we all know each other? And he's gonna like head out in
That's
full.
what I was saying.
Of...
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
They weren't listening to me. Man, you got to come meet the others. Yeah, he's like, kind of looks slightly disorientated for a moment. I gotta go pee, and he walks off. He walks off around a building and leaves the four of you. The three of you have woken up and found that you're at a what looks like a lovely campsite.
It's like what I imagine, like scout camp or something is like, right? Like
I'm
one of those
put a
sort
picture in the. Oh, is it going to let me do it?
Where did you take us, Blake?
There is a hippie.
No, he's gone to the bathroom. It's a music festival. And then there's camping. We can't drive all night.
No, that is unwise. Maybe you should let others drive.
Oh, yeah, sure. But not now, right?
No, this is awesome. Great
Just
stuff.
be a minute. You can hear him peeing behind a building.
It is very loud.
As you kind of look around, there are some low lights sort of dotted around, lamps to kind of light the area. And although they're made to look like kind of prospector oil lamps, they're clearly got a wire coming out of them, and they're an electric light.
Oh,
And you can see a series of buildings facing onto this semicircular parking area, right? And there is a building with office written over it in like a sign. Yeah. There's like a restaurant. There's the general store. There's a building that's got big windows on the front. You can see inside there. It's got giant washing machine, clothes dryers kind of stuff. Clearly the laundrette disguised as some kind of old building. And kind of ruining the mood, off to one side, an electricity substation, kind of just over there with some fencing around it. But obviously, legally they're probably not allowed to like clad it in anything that's not safe. So it kind of stands out a little bit over to one side.
The signs of civilization in amongst the plastic Americana.
What was that? You hear him say. Oh,
Oh.
he hears Twonky's voice. Whoa.
You are hallucinating. This is all a dream.
Oh,
Likely to believe it.
cool. He comes back. And he's like sorting himself out a bit. He's like, oh, dude. Wow, there's more of you. Cool. Hey, do you want me to go and get, wait here. I'll go and get Anna. I'll help you out. I'll be your guide. Your guide. Jerry and
literally-
Alex and Nancy and those guys, they're all like partying over by the bonfire. Like we moved everything about a bit. It's cool. It's a good space. We've got some, we've got a sound system and everything. It's
Don't
great.
fall in.
Well,
The bonfire. Don't fall in.
no. Oh, we could jump the. Cool. We'll do that later. Anyway, and he goes off towards the building that says office.
Well, this is lovely.
As you get
Yeah.
out,
It
you can
is.
see sort of like maybe 20 people dancing around the fire. Not in a kind of we're going to sacrifice you to a dark god kind of way, but just like people, they're clearly like drinking, some of them are smoking, they're dancing around. It's just like a open air space where people are having a bit of fun. Calling it a festival might be a bit much. You can see that there are two little roads, more like tracks, that go off from this parking area off into the woods. And it has some signs. Over to one side, it says pitch 1 to 7. And on the other side, it says cabin 1 to 4.
Look, I think we should just hang out, get a good night's rest. We can stretch our legs a bit, and then in the morning, we hit the road again, and we can drive for another 14 hours.
Amen. I'm the pit cabin 3 is my name on it.
Great.
Yeah.
Just make sure we're in a state to drive tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I suppose
state,
Twonky can drive.
state is a level of perception. Like you know, what you think of a state that you could drive in is different to me. It's all relative.
Yeah. Being in a state where we're not going to be, wrapped around the nearest tree. That'd be good.
What trees? It's just straight road.
But we will need to return to the road, so
Yeah, we need to get there first.
need to be functional.
It'd be right. It doesn't say it'd be right. That's very, very northern. It'd be fine.
Not ingest your pharmacopoeia. I will be able to drive.
It's the only time, like, for all his property is theft, man. There is a very definite moment of like,
My van.
yeah, you could. You could drive. Yes, those are in the universal laws of probability. That is a thing that could happen. It
It's
may.
the bounds of possibility.
Yeah.
The guy sticks his head out of the door of the building. Hey. He's waving you over to the building. He's just going, hey.
We know what stone prick is yet.
Hey.
Who is the last corporeal being in the van? I give Atticus the keys to lock up.
And
Atticus drives away.
Yeah. Are you giving me these keys so I can stay inside, or I'm coming with you?
It's the van should be locked up because although property is theft, this is my property and I don't want anybody to steal it. So I'd like to make it a little bit harder for everybody to do that by not leaving the van unlocked.
Okay, sure.
If you want to stay in the van, I'm not going to be like, you must come. But I want to go and talk to those people.
As you pile, as the few of you climb out who are, you can see a few other cars parked in the parking area as well, but sort of further around to one side.
Are we in the parking area? So
yes, you are.
Okay, I'll lock up the van and get out prior to locking it up, and not give the keys back to Blake because Blake's toddled off already.
Okay.
Yeah, Blake's headed to wherever this guy's waving from.
He's like steps out, and he like hands you the joint.
Oh yeah, take it. Yeah,
He's
absolutely.
like, I'll see you over there, and he just thumbs towards the door.
And yeah, I'll just walk in.
There's a Hispanic lady standing behind a counter. It's made to look like some sort of old Western building on the interior, and she says, "Hi, welcome to Reyes Creek Campground."
Are you Rhea?
No, that's old. That's old. It's an old name. My family sort of moved here a couple of generations ago, and we've picked it up from the original owners. It's nowadays I'm not sure why I'm even here anymore, but these guys seem to enjoy it, and we're not all ready to lie down. So hey, look, if you want to stay, great. We've got pitches, we've got cabins, and we can put you up for the night. You can drive your car up to the pitch and leave it there. You can drive your car up to the cabin, but you got to bring it back.
What, we need to bring the cabin back?
Sure.
Okay. Look, one of my buddies, they like the idea of cabin number 3. Is cabin number 3 free?
Hang on. Yeah.
Excellent. Like we'll sleep there then.
Okay.
There's some sort of currency. Oh yeah, you're going to tell us how much.
Yeah. That'll be $50.
Yeah, I just give her $50.
Okay. Is $50 a reasonable sum for this?
It's it was probably cheaper if you stay in the car on the pitch. $50. It depends. You haven't seen the cabin.
That's fair.
So you don't.
We
know.
haven't read any reviews on TripAdvisor or anything.
And there's a bunch of you, so just giving you a fairly good deal for.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. It's not my $50 anyway. So.
Yeah. Well, it's probably not Blake's $50 originally.
Yeah.
That's true. They're donations.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know whether there's a moment where Blake does have a watch of like $500.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay.
She
doesn't seem too fussed when you get the wad out. If you're trying to be a bit flash, like secret flash.
He's not being
look.
secret flash. It's
right,
just like, but also he's not being like covert.
Sure.
Like he's just got a watch of $500.
casual.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
cool.
I don't know how much other folks have, but I know Twonky's probably got none.
I have no need for your Earth currency.
Yeah, but you also have need for our Earth shelter and our Earth
maintenance.
Anyway, I'm not getting into this argument again.
As you're casually, however you're doing it, getting
just
50 of your
$50
$500 out,
Yeah.
you hear someone shouting outside, Anna, 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 Anna.
Is that you?
She's like, what's going on out? Are any of you still outside?
No, I went with Blake.
Yeah, sure. I'll be outside.
Okay.
I
You're just kind of leaning on the frame of the building as they've gone inside to pay for stuff. You see a man running across the car park from the pitches track, and he comes running down and he's shouting, Anna, Anna.
Does the woman in the where Blake is paying, does she respond to this?
Well, she's had people shout her name at her for many different reasons over the years, and she's making sure to receive the payment for lodgings first, and then seeing what else is going on. So she thanks very much. Okay, so here you got to sign some form. Here you go. Fill out your thing. Cool. Okay.
None of the information on the form is correct, or I've just made shit
It's
up.
a crappy old photocopied form that looks like it doesn't really matter anyway.
And I'm not making shit up just because I'm scared about people know my end. It doesn't matter. So he's just going to write weird shit in it.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's
cool.
the thing.
Yeah. No, that's cool. I like it. And she says, "Is that Rufus out there messing about? Is that you, Rufus?" It's Anna. And as the guy gets closer, he kind of runs up to the window, and she sees him, and she's like, "Jorge, what are you doing?" And he bundles into the room. She says, "1 second." He goes, "I can't wait. This can't wait." And she goes, "Look, cabin 3. Here you go," and kind of whacks the key on the table. And he says, Luca's missing. Luca's missing. We have to get everybody together. We have to go and find him. He was out. I don't know why he was out. He was out. I don't know where he is. He's missing. We have to find him." And she's like, "Calm down. Sorry, everybody. Thank you. Thank you so much." She's like, calm down. Come and sit down over. She takes him over to the side, lifts the kind of the flap up, and he's like, Where's Trey? Where's Trey?" She goes, "Why do you want Trey?" He goes, "Well, he's got like guns and torches, right? We need to go and find him. We need to. Someone's grabbed him. There's weird shit out in the woods." And she's like, "Calm down, Hoy. Calm down." So I'm really sorry. Sorry.
Right.
Everyone.
Somebody said weird shit.
In terms of like this dude who's like freaking out, Blake's going to be like, "Okay, look, we don't need guns. We don't need that kind of stuff. What we need to do is we need to stop, breathe. Remember," and he's doing the devotee bullshit, right?
Sure.
We're all part of this unifying single life force. So if we just stop and breathe and take a moment inside and
what the fuck? Who are you? Who the fuck are you? What? Anna's looking very confused. What?
But I am attempting to like calm him down with whatever this BS is.
Right, okay.
And just to sort of, because I can't help it, it's my ego. But I am trying to like calm him down. Whoever this Luca is
Luca's my son.
Well, then you have a strong connection to to Luca. Is his
and that's
energy.
why I'm here. He's missing.
So if
Blake.
Yeah.
1 second. I just lift up my t-shirt and has my handgun stashed into my jeans.
He's like, whoa, dude.
No. We have guns. You need to find your son.
Yeah,
I can help you do that.
Oh, you
that's
can?
what I was saying.
Yeah, but you
were
would take
talking
about
about some
3.5
weird shit.
hours.
You have an image of the smaller version of you.
He pulls out his wallet and he's like flicks through, and there's like 20 pictures of him and his son, like in various campgrounds, with one with a fish, one where they're fishing together, all that really cutesy. The guy who showed you pictures of his kid on his wallet moment at the beginning of the movie.
Anning.
And he's like, this is Luca.
Sir.
Pardon? What?
A lot of campsites, sir.
Oh, we love camping together, and this is the problem. He likes to go stargazing. Someone was talking about shooting stars, so he went out to go and look to see if he could see shooting stars, and I said not to go far.
The stoned hippie was talking about the artillery barrage, I believe.
What?
We will find your son.
Okay.
Where did you see him last?
He was headed up to Bob and Margot's.
Assume that we don't know who Bob and Margot are.
And Anna says, pitch 3.
Thank you.
Not cabin 3, but pitch 3. You were very close, Riel.
It's the other side of the campground.
I'll get there someday.
Anna sort of turns to Atticus, who seems to sort of be making a bit of sense, but also got a weapon. And she says, they're an elderly couple in an RV. Please do not give them heart attacks.
Absolutely, ma'am. I will do my best not to give them any sort of cardiac event.
I make no promises.
I'll do
Same.
my
They're
best.
a really nice
No.
couple, but please don't.
Yeah, no. No, I shall flick my t-shirt back over to where the firearm lives.
A meatscape is a cage. Beady bead bead.
What's the dad called? Sorry.
Jorge.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna. I want to at least talk to Jorge through the medium of calming breathing techniques, but also
Okay.
like what does his kid look like? Where was his kid last? What color was his t-shirt? So we can hone in
Sure.
on the energy vibrations of
Okay.
said t-shirt.
As you start to ask slightly more constructive, even though still weird questions, he starts to answer your question. He's wearing like his red game. What's that game with the yellow thing with the?
I look at Twonky.
Yeah, like yeah. He's like completely like
Let me do the pose.
lost it. That's it. Yeah.
I
He's
have
got
no
the
idea.
red t-shirt with that on, and yeah. Well, he's got what his jeans, those sneakers I bought him a few weeks ago. He never wears his bloody hat anywhere. I always Anyway,
All right. So
Presumably, like you've been camping with your kid for quite a few times. You've taught him a couple like navigational skills, right? He'll know.
yeah.
He'll know what to do. He'll be fine. We'll find him. He'll be fine.
Okay, thanks.
Don't worry
thanks,
about it.
guys. I mean, thank you. I mean, you've like just got here and like you're. Thanks. Look, he starts to move towards the door, trying to like. You're saying we're going to find my kid. Let's go find my kid. Kind of like, yeah, okay. And he looks at Atticus. He's like, what was your name again? Sorry.
Atticus.
Okay, Atticus. Thank you. Okay.
We haven't found him yet, sir. Thank us when we find him.
No, but like, just to offer your help is a thing these days. Okay. He heads out of the building. As you do, you see a couple of people, a man and a woman, climb into one of the cars that's parked right at the other end, sort of in a shadowy corner. And giggling. And you guys walk off in the other direction towards the trail that heads up to pitch 3. He's like, I mean, it's a bit of a trek. Is that your van? We could drive up?
I have forgotten I've given the keys to someone else already.
Shit, I've lost the keys.
Yeah, literally. Oh, shh.
I'll allow this to carry on for a little while.
And I'll be like, look, no, I think walking, what if we see him on the way? Like,
Okay, he may have made his, yeah, okay.
all sorts of BS in terms of, like, I haven't lost the keys. We didn't need the keys.
Sure.
not mentioning the keys, but there is definitely a level of like, I check all the pockets. I look a bit panicked, and this is the universe telling me I should walk.
Well, as you walk up the track, it's kind of, twisting around, going up nice rises, and gives you a little view. You can see down to the area where the fire is going, and people are still dancing and having fun down there. You go past one pitch where there's some tents. You go past pitch 2 where there's a big tent. He's like, that's ours. That's mine. Up ahead is Bob and Margot's. They're such nice people. He heads up a bit further, and it's taking you like 10 minutes, 15 minutes to walk up here.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got that. You've been sitting in the car with your legs, or you've been cramped up, or in the van. So you got that little bit of early sweat on by the time you get up to the pitch, and it's just like a square dirt cleared out of the forest, basically. That the track goes up and turns left into, and there is one of those big Winnebago style RV things sitting it's beige and brown stripes along the sides, and it says something like free cruiser down the side, something like that. It's and there are lights on in the RV, and there's like some old sort of 50s music playing. You can just hear kind of quietly from the RV, and the door is open. It's got like an awning that's come out the side, and there's an old man sitting on a little deck chair thing, lawn chair.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got those little beers, the little beers.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a couple of those, and he's got a pipe, and he's just sitting there, and he's looking at the sky, and he's obviously heard you coming, and he's like,
was coming ages up, yeah.
He's like, hello there, hi. He
Hey.
leans over and shuts the door on his RV.
Hey,
Can I help? Oh, Jorge. And Jorge's like, oh my God, there's like, Luca's missing. And Bob says, who are these fine folks with you? 5 of you come up here, and Margot's sleeping. Is everything okay?
no, we're looking for Luca.
Well, he came by here a couple of hours ago, but he was off on a ramble. He said he found a deer trail that he was gonna follow a bit further up. I haven't seen him since. Sent him on his way. I'd found a really interesting coin while we were on our walk earlier on. It was from 1857, and I'd given it a good shine, and I gave it to him. He's interesting lad. He's always asking me questions about the old days, what it's like being old, cheeky swine. So I gave him a little coin and sent him on his way.
I'll look at Jorge. Like, does that line up with?
He's like, oh yeah. He's always trying to go and talk to them about the old day. I'm sorry, Bob. I know it's not polite. He goes, oh, don't worry about it. I am old, he says, kind of holding the pipe, and sort of like he sort of puts his feet down on the ground. He's got them up on a little ice chest.
Mm-hmm.
That it's obviously his beers are in, and he puts his legs down. And you can hear the creak in his knees. He goes, I am old, so don't worry about it.
What is it like?
Oh, imagine you need oiling all the time.
That seems inefficient.
Tell me about it. He
Why
drinks
do
more
you
of his
not
beer.
inhabit a new body?
Why would I want to? This is my body. It's been with me this whole time. And he slaps his leg and regrets it slightly. You know, every creak and pain, there's a reason for all of them.
And you wish to remember all of those reasons?
Always. Margaret and I have been through a lot together.
Strange.
Which way was the deer track, Bob?
Oh, he kind of leans a bit and he's like, hang on. And he gets up. Oh, hang on. He has a go and he fails. And then he has another go and he gets...
Distance.
I give him a hand.
Yeah, he goes, oh, thank you, you kind young man. You help him up and he kind of walks a bit further. He has got a gun in the back of his trousers. Like, he's not hiding it or anything, he's just there. And he just a pistol, like a little service type thing, a little 6-shooter thing. He's like, oh yeah, just over there. He kind of points up back onto the trail, and you're now a bit further away from like the bonfire area, so you're more in the hills and the trees. He sort of points to the other side of he said, over there. He said I remember sort of looking over, and he was shining the coin at me from afar, and it caught the light in my eye just off the moon. It was like I didn't expect it.
Is the moon out?
Yeah, the moon's out. Yeah.
Can I just ask? I didn't get a chance to interject.
Sure.
Would it have been possible to have gotten the make and model of the car with the giggling people in it driving away, or were they too far away?
They weren't driving away. They were giggling inside the car. It was a Buick.
Okay.
Big Buick.
Okay.
The car was rocking,
Not yet. They hadn't started. They hadn't got that far. But...
Knocking.
but we should not go knocking.
There is
All
a
right.
cup for that.
Shall we? Thank you, Bob. You know how to use that thing? But I will gesture to the handgun in his waistband.
Sure do, boy. Do you know how to use that thing?
This and more, my friend. This and more.
I have guns in my arms. Beep.
He looks at Jorge and he says, "Good luck finding your son." And he seems suddenly very serious and emotional. Good luck finding your son. Kind of didn't like grab him like this, but he kind of pats him on one shoulder, which is sort of lingers a bit longer than you would have thought he would have done. And then Jorge's kind of not even kind of noticing he's heading off towards the gap where the deer trail is that he said the boy disappeared down.
Okay.
So, Bob, do
Right.
you have a torch or a lamp or a light that we could find Luca with?
Sure. Stay here for a sec. He goes over to the RV and he opens the door just enough so that he can get in and shut it without you seeing into the RV.
While he's inside there, I want to take a beer out of his cooler. Like, not...
Yeah. No, you're just like,
take-
you're like, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
There's beers. Cool. I'll have a
There's
beer.
beers. I'm going to wait. I'm going to take one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you still going to be drinking it when he comes out?
I might just put it in my pocket for later. This is a serious
Oh, okay.
business.
Right,
I'll
gotcha,
put it in my pocket.
gotcha.
Yeah. Or maybe just hold it. Like,
The failing unit will not need it for much longer.
but
He comes out and he's got a couple of like large flashlights, like mag light, big
The
things
big
that take the
things.
huge batteries,
the
and
D
you could
cells,
like
yeah.
you could like knock someone on the head with.
Okay.
So they could function as a baton.
Maglite.
Yeah. All right. I will.
I've got a couple of these. I'm not sure how long the light will last. Sorry, I haven't changed the batteries in a while and I couldn't find any spares right now. The RV's it's a little bit of a mess right now.
I'll just shrug. It's all same to me. I'll take the torches. He's given us 2, right?
Yeah, 2 torches.
Yeah. So I'll take both torches and I'll give one to Atticus.
Sure.
Thank you. So the van has like an awning out on the, say, driver's side.
Yes, there's an awning
Uh,
out with a door, and
Is
it's
there a
closed.
window on the passenger
There's windows,
side?
but it's got little curtains all the way around.
Are they okay?
It's all drawn. You can't see into the RV.
I wonder if it would be possible at some point to nip round the other side unnoticed and hear if there's any noise going on, even snoring or
Probably
anything like
not
that.
in this conversation, because you're kind of all standing in the open in
Yeah.
front of each other, right? You could try and take a leak in the trees, for example. But why would you go that way? You could just go.
Yeah, I mean, if we're going to go through the
But
deer
when
track,
he's gone into the RV, you could go around the other side.
sure, yes,
You want to do that?
I would.
Okay.
And listen at doors.
Let's make an agility roll
Oh,
to see
oh,
how quietly you do that, because it's dark, right? There is light coming out of the RV, but you're moving around in an area you don't know. There might be loose rocks and stone on the ground. You might trip, you might kick something, it might bounce up and hit the vehicle, that kind of thing. But
okay,
it's not hard.
sure. I'm just my dice roller wants to roll. Oh, okay. I'm rolling 66.
No, don't. 66. Oh.
Change
I
your
get
name
a-
to Dan.
And I get a whole success. Oh, look, I could
Can't
almost
see
show it. There you go, a whole success.
You got one. Okay. Well, that's enough. So you sneak round the back of the RV whilst everyone's distracted by Blake taking a beer out of the ice chest, just blatantly. Right, and the crunch of the ice masks the crunch of your boots as you kind of quickly turn, and you don't run, but you stride round the back of the RV. So you're around the other side. What do you want to do?
I want to just put.
You wanna
I
listen?
don't know. Yeah, I don't know much about RVs, but I imagine it's like you could put your ear to it and hear
Yeah.
what was going on to some degree inside.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's what I'd like to do.
Okay.
Because you could hear if anyone was struggling or snoring or
Okay.
Have
know.
Margot and Bob kidnapped Luca.
Sure.
Is Margot dead?
Is Margot? Oh, that'd be so weird. His wife is
Is-
dead, and he's just
Yeah.
just can't deal with it. Just cracking on.
So,
My money.
you go around the back and you press your ear to the plastic glass, the glass,
Sure,
or
whatever.
just the hull of the vehicle.
I think
So you
more
don't
like the
appear
hull
as a dark
the
thing.
hull of the vehicle.
Right. Okay. So you press your thing against the vehicle, and Aldoon and Dennis, if you could take your earphones off, please.
Oh.
Take them out. Okay, so you press your ear against the vehicle. You know that thrumming noise of electronics. You can hear that kind of going on in the room. It feels like they're not just listening to some old timey radio. They've got some gear in there that's kind of
So sort of like a computer fan or
that kind of
generator.
thing. Computer fan more than generator.
Okay.
Maybe lots of appliances. You don't know.
Mm.
And you hear him say in a hushed tone, just some people looking for Luca. Don't worry. I think he's probably just got lost in the woods. They'll find him. Don't worry. I'll give them some flashlights and they'll go away. Don't worry. They're not gonna come in. Don't worry. It's all fine. They won't. It's not a problem. Don't worry, Margot.
Okay.
My love. Don't worry.
So thank you. Yes.
And then you hear him find the flashlights, and you kind of go back round the other side, so you're with everybody else when he comes out with the flashlights. So you don't have time to talk to them about what you heard.
Of course.
He's there, and therefore our retcon slots in nicely. We haven't rewritten history. just yet as you walk away, and we'll let the guys put their headphones back on.
Are they all dead?
Everybody. He's just gunned down Bob and Margot in their RV. No, not really.
Well done. Excellent.
Blake,
Not that kind of horror movie.
Blake, you didn't notice that Atticus was gone.
No,
You were
of course
too
not.
wrapped up in your own shit, and you took a beer, and you're having a beer, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Rial, you noticed that Atticus slipped around the back of the RV. Okay. And here comes Twonky.
Hello.
Hello. Oh.
Hello.
So, Twonky, I would like you also to make a wits roll for me, please.
6 of these 6-sided dice.
That is more than I would roll.
I got 1 success.
Okay. Could everybody else take their headphones off, please? Just brief one. Aldoon.
Hello.
They have tried to disguise it as some sort of old aerial, but there's some sort of Neurocaster aerial on top of the RV. Unless you were like a pro drone pilot with your own pro headgear and lots of elite equipment, you wouldn't know, right? So you've kind of figured this out just as Bob comes out of the RV. Cool. When Bob looks up, then we can get him to get his headphones back on.
Sorry, thank you.
No worries. Okay, so Bob comes out, as we said, with 2 big flashlights and says, "Here you go." He went off that
Just
way.
as like I'm putting a beer in my back pocket.
Just as you're putting the beer in your back pocket.
Take the 2 torches off.
Atticus seems to be shuffling around somewhere.
And I'll hand
and
him
the
a
other
torch.
2.
And I'll be like, "Thanks, Bob."
Good luck. Good luck.
Thank
All right.
you, Human Bob.
Shake the torch to get the batteries to work.
Jorge's already, as I said, he's sort of heading off towards the deer trail where he pointed.
Cool. I will head after him.
Okay. So you all start heading off in that direction, I assume.
Yeah, and at the earliest opportunity, I will share my information with them.
Okay, well, you kind of get over the track and onto the deer trail, and it's kind of single file through the trees. It's dark. You've got torches. It is quite dangerous. So, Rob, share what you want to share, and then we're going to have people make agility rolls for climbing through the trees in the middle of the night.
There's they seem not to know anything about Luca, but he seemed quite concerned. Bob seemed quite concerned that Margot, that we weren't going to go in there, and I heard weird sort of humming of electricals, more than just food blender and a microwave, that kind of thing.
Oh, it's probably some sort of neurosphere rig.
Is it?
They had a concealed aerial on the top of the RV. Did you not spot that with your fleshy eyes?
Not this time, Tonk.
Okay. Well, I'm glad I could bring this information to your attention.
We all much appreciated. Well, there we go. That's probably what they were all being a little closey door hushy about.
There.
Jorge's like, what the like, can we please focus on finding Luca? If he said he went this way and he followed this trail, then
As the Messiah has taught us, everything is connected. Is that not right, Pittman?
I hate it. Yes. Yes, it is. You are right. That's exact. Everything is connected. We're all part of one conscious. Yes. This way. I know.
okay.
I
Let's
want to
have
move
agility
ahead
rolls.
and not be next to Twonky.
Let's have agility rolls, because you may lose some health in here because you are tramping through the woods in the middle of the night with torches, right? So I'm going to allow you a gear die each to the benefit of having torches. However, if anyone rolls a 1, then one of the torches will go out.
Oh, great.
And the next one will be worse coming back.
So the gear die must be a separate die, yeah?
It
Yeah.
must be, because if it rolls a 1,
Okay.
then you break your torch. Well, the batteries run out, we'll say.
Oh.
Let's just go to the health section. Here we go.
Ability.
2 successes with one of those successes being the gear die.
Ooh.
Oh. Okay, well, you've got a torch, so that kind of fits, doesn't it?
Hmm.
You spot a nasty hole that you nearly stepped in and avoid it.
Does Twonky walk, or does,
As opposed to what?
I don't know, float?
He walks. Yeah, it's like a little robot dude.
There are
Okay.
Sort of like 5 foot tall, right?
Okay.
There are civilian flying drones. You yourself will be familiar with the flying military drones. A combat model gladiator drone. I have legs.
Okay, noted. Thank you.
They're pretty good at crunching branches as you go through. But you do notice in this environment that Twonky is actually pretty able. You think, oh, robot, cutesy robot, clunky. But actually, Twonky's pretty... Although you may now fail your roll since I've said that. Aldrin, I don't know. 1 success. Okay, you passed.
Not that.
Millie,
0.
would you like to push, or would you like to use your extra success to help Blake?
I'm going to just check my attention list. Sorry.
Very fair.
Sorry.
Blake
I'd
has-
love to help.
Stumbled through and stolen things repeatedly.
Jorge has not got a success.
Can I use mine to help the
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
Help Jorge, yeah.
Right, Dennis, how did Real do?
Real defining at 1 success, no
Okay.
no ones.
Great.
All right, so
Blake, what are you doing?
what does the push? Where is the push?
Well, when you push,
Yeah.
you lose a point of hope
All right, and my hope.
because the world is getting you down.
Okay, my hope's okay. It's right. I'll try pushing because I've got 6 dice here. I should theoretically.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1 gear dice. Theoretically.
Here we go. Let me just check the rule. On page 53.
Oh, perfect. Right, I get 1 success on my stat dice, but a 1 on my gear dice.
Okay. So you're wandering along quite blithely and you nearly fall off a short drop. And you reach out just instinctively with the hand that's holding the torch and you grab a branch, but you smack the torch and the casing breaks and the batteries fall out.
Yeah, perfect.
And now you've only got 1 torch.
Don't use it as a club, though.
You can still use it as a club.
Just saying.
Yeah, you can. And you're kind of like this land in the hills, this kind of broken hillside, as you can kind of see these kind of steps and cracks in the ground around you. Probably from previous tectonic activity in this area, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
And you start to maneuver yourself around, and Jorge's going, Luca!
I hand the broken torch off to Riel.
Thanks. Yeah. Right.
I will join in shouting Luca.
Okay.
I won't. I've always thought it's silly that I think 1's enough, right? People have never not been found because of the amount of people shouting.
You
Yeah, What volume?
you all need to make wits rolls.
Oh no.
Not all of us, or just the shouters.
All of you, because you're all listening, I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Totally
Okay.
paying attention. Ooh, 2.
Well, 1s on your attribute dice only count for pushing, right?
Sorry. 1s on the attribute dice don't count.
Okay.
Yeah, it's only gear dice.
So 2 success.
Not success.
0.
0.
I'm scanning the auditory channels.
Okay. Twonky, you hear... Oh, there's like... Everyone's moving around. Yeah, and people suddenly stopping and looking. And in a moment of quiet of these meat sacks who can't control themselves, that inability for humans, normal humans to sort of stand still and just listen. You're standing there, like, using the senses of your drone to kind of examine the whole area, and you hear like a groaning noise, in muffled groaning noise, sort of down and over to the right.
Mr. Trent, I believe I have fresh data.
Share that data, please, Tom.
I can detect a groaning noise ahead and slightly over that way.
Let's shine my torch immediately in the way that he's pointing.
You shine your torch in that direction, and something glints in the darkness.
Sort of like a coin?
Maybe. And Jorge's like, Luca! And he runs. Let's see how he does.
Please take care, sir. It is dark.
He's propelling himself, and he falls flat on his face. And you hear him like, ah! And he's like, ah!
It is okay. He
Gets up, and he's got a gash on his arm. He's like fallen, hit a tree, and it's sort of hurt his arm. And he's like, ah! But he gets up, and he doesn't care. He's like, Luca, Luca! And he's running forwards.
Sir, please learn from your previous mistake.
Jorge, if you die before finding your son will have to grow up without you. Slow down.
That kind of snaps him, and he's like, ugh. And he's like, walks forward. He's like, get down here, help me. Yeah. Well, Blake's probably just standing there like, don't worry about it. I mean, what does it matter? It's just your kid.
Hey, he's got a heart, but it's not in the right place. He is making his way, but he's got no torch now because Rial broke it, and it's a bit slow going because he's not very good in the woods. So he's waiting for Atticus to go first.
Yeah, that's
okay. So Atticus, you move up next to him, and as you approach, you can see that there is indeed a coin lying in a kind of shrubbery to one side. The light shrubs. It's not heavily vegetated, hence you could see it, and you can also see that just beyond there is very craggy ground, and in fact there is a kind of crevasse.
Is that where the groaning?
And you can hear a groaning noise coming from down from there.
Twonky will just be walking forward, pointing.
How deep can I get an impression with the torch of how deep the drop is to the bottom of the?
Well, as you kind of come forward, you can see this crevice is kind of curving. So the curve is probably 30 or 40 feet long. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it's not very wide. It's probably just wide enough to accommodate a young boy. And as you kind of get to the crevice, you look down, you can see that he has fallen down there and he's stuck. And he's kind of like, kind of groaning. It kind of like, has he fallen asleep? Is he hurt, unconscious? You're not sure. But he's kind of down the crevasse, probably about 10, 15 feet.
Luke, is your name Luca?
It's like, and Jorge gets to the edge and he's like, Luca! And he's like, Dad, I'm sorry. My leg hurts. And he's like, don't worry. We got help is here. We're going to get you out. Don't worry. And he looks up at you, Atticus, his eyes like wide. And he's like, how are we going to get him out? Hold my legs. I'll go down. I'll pull him out.
You are malfunctioning, sir.
Does anyone have 50 foot of rope? Or
Or a 10-foot pole.
yeah.
I cast rope trick.
I believe my slim droid body may be able to navigate this crevasse.
Yeah, but what will you do when you get down there?
I will inspect the smaller meat unit.
Okay.
You might scrape the paint on your head, but apart from that, yeah, you think you can probably.
I've brought extra paint for just such an.
Are you able to
A
tell?
little tester pot.
Is Twonky able to tell if the boy is damaged in any way? When
From
does
here,
Twonky have
no.
Does
Donkey's
Twonky have
got
that
no
ability?
kind of advanced. He hasn't got any kind of advanced scanning
I do
system.
not fly. I am not a medical bay. Is there any other assumptions you would like to test before I save the smaller meat unit?
No, go for it, Twonk. You do you.
If possible, I will try and force them up through the crevasse. If someone could receive them, that would be advantageous.
Are you talking about launching them?
What a delightful proposition.
There's going to be
Well, I can
some
catch.
strength rolls involved, right?
I'll help with that.
If I don't, sorry, Dennis.
Sorry. Since I'm also a medic, can I somewhat ascertain whether this boy is even safe to be moved?
You may make a wits and is it a +2 dice from a talent?
No,
No,
it's just allows me to use med kits and such.
I'll let you make a wits roll from here. You have to spend a little bit of time like looking and taking the flashlight this side and that side, and then you ask him some questions about where he's hurt. Make a roll.
Build that roll. Can I push it to try again?
You can. You lose a point of hope.
Use a point of hope. Hey, that's a 6.
Okay. You think he has broken his left leg, but it doesn't seem to be bleeding too badly.
All right.
But he has had some blood loss, so he's probably a bit faint.
Yeah.
And it would be good to move him because you want to get him out before that blood loss becomes any worse.
Sure. Advise Twonky to obviously avoid that leg. But I'll also be ready to hoist the lad up.
Sure.
Twonky can make it down to the child.
Yes. There might be a little bit of scraping on the way down, but your body is smaller, so you are able to get down the crevasse.
Small child.
Make a strength roll using your drone's strength.
Drone strength of 5.
5, that's good. To make sure you don't damage yourself on the way down.
Fall on the child. That's 1 success.
Okay, yeah, you're fine. You climb down, and you get near the child, and the kid is kind of looking at you like with delirium and kind of
Hi, Johnny Jolt.
weird, like what's going on? He thinks he's like hallucinating from the pain or something. But
I have come from your future. You need to escape the meatscape into the neuroescape. Remember this.
I've seen these drones before. I just never thought one would be climbing down a crevasse in the middle of the night to save my life. Dad, this is weird. I'm tired. Well, you're going to try and prize him out without hurting him. Okay. We will do a strength roll. Because no doubt you can get him out. But can you do it without hurting him? It's the safe application of your strength.
Oh, 1 success.
Okay. So you manage to get him out and start to pull him up as you're climbing. One hand holding him and your other hand in your feet shimmying you up, and you're pulling him up. And Jorge's like desperation has turned to joy And he's like, "Oh my God, thank you so much. Thank you so much. You've helped my boy. I thought I thought I'd never see him again." And he starts crying. And as he gets near the top, Rial leans down and helps to lift him out from above. And as you get him out, you can see he has broken his leg. And he has been bleeding, but actually his being wedged into the crevasse has actually put pressure on his wound and meant he hasn't bled a lot, but he is bleeding now.
Tourniquet time, I would think.
Mm-hmm. So you can use your med kit.
Well, I don't have one, but we got clothes.
Oh yeah,
We
sure.
can
You're
rip
just
something
gonna...
off.
Okay, let's have a wits roll then.
Nope.
Or empathy, up to you. Wits or empathy?
That was a nope. We will try again with more spending of hope.
Okay.
I assist.
Yep, you can assist. You gain a die.
Okay.
I have scraped myself saving this small meat unit. Would be a shame if they did not survive.
You've got 2 scrapes.
6.
Okay, cool. So after an initial try, you're like, oh, okay, not that way, right? Okay, and then you wrap and tourniquet so that the child is not gonna bleed out. You didn't think he was gonna bleed out like suddenly, but obviously, if there's any bleeding, you want to kind of stop that. So you get the boy, you get Luca wrapped up. He's kind of passed out now. He's tired. Has lost a bit of blood now. He's obviously hurt, and it's late. He's actually physically tired as well. So he's just like passed out, and his dad is carrying him. And he's like, "Oh, thank you so much. I don't know how I can ever thank you. I mean, he's like you're standing in the middle of the forest in the dark with a torch. You can still hear the kind of music coming up the valley from where the bonfire was. He's like, I shouldn't leave him alone tonight, but maybe tomorrow I can buy you breakfast."
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll do a breakfast.
I don't know how else to say thank you. Really, we don't really have a lot, but whatever I can.
Let's make sure we all survive our way down.
Can I take the coin and just open up Luca's hand and just deposit the 1857 silver
$1.
half?
$1.
1857, it would have been the half cent they discontinued.
There you go.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
There
Okay.
you go. It's rare. There you go. Thought
Super
someone
rare.
would look it up.
Yeah, I can't help myself.
Drop it in
so
the Discord so I've got it. So you guys start to make your way back up, right? So you have one torch between you, and Luca is carrying a child, and he's not Arnold Schwarzenegger. As much as he would love to carry his child all the way through the dark, he needs some help. And he's kind of, at first he's like, "No, I'm going to carry him." But after a while, he's like, "Oh, Atticus, can you help me for a moment? I need to just get up this rise, and all that kind of stuff." So you all work together. So you're going to get a gear die because you still have a torch, but it's going to be difficulty 2 on your agility roll this time.
For me?
Everybody.
Everyone.
Because you're now trundling back through the forest in the dark, carrying an injured child.
Agility with a gear die.
Yes. Oh, Dennis, what have you done?
I'm gonna push.
2.
Hope.
Yeah.
Here we go. Let's see.
Oh, right. Okay. I don't know what I'd do to this poor torch, but I got a 1 on my gear dice again.
Oh,
Blake.
man.
I got 2 torches now.
Blake
Blake,
just doesn't care
I
about
hate
anything. He's
torches.
No, but Blake's just so careless because it doesn't mean anything to him.
Yeah.
So,
But I do get 3 successes.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah.
And
Okay.
what
You've
it's
got
worth, I
three
also
successes.
Three
Right.
successes.
So Dennis got none.
No, I got 3 5s.
Oh,
so
Wow.
close.
oh
Yeah,
so
see.
close. So close. Millie got 3. Rob, you got...
I got 2, but I also got a 1 on my gear dice.
Okay. So the torch is definitely broken.
Definitely right.
And outdo.
2.
2 successes. Okay. And... Oh... Jorge got 1. So, Millie, you've got an extra success. You're going to help Jorge so he doesn't take any damage?
No, I'm going to help Riel.
Well, Rial still needs 2 successes, and he hasn't got any.
Oh.
So, you can help him if you want, but he'll still take a point of damage.
Help the dad. Help the kid.
Okay.
All right, I'll be responsible with my successes, and I will help Jorge.
You don't have to. You can play Blake as Blake if you want to, and just be
No,
like,
no, no,
I'll help
it-
Rial, and then they both take a point of damage. That'd be quite cool.
I do like the idea that he's trying to help and it's completely ineffective. But no, if Jorge is carrying the child, then I will help the person carrying the child.
That's 2 converts, right?
Yeah, it's a twofer.
Is it easier to subsume a smaller unit, do you feel, Messiah?
Look, they're younger. They've not had the pollution of state education and all the misinformation therein. So they are more open to the truth.
When you say truth, your perception and emergence of said truth.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's all relative.
And how did you yourself stumble upon such a thing? Mind that route.
It's not a story for climbing down a hill. We should,
Back up to the track. So
Yeah.
you make your way through. Dennis, Rial takes 1 point of health, loses 1 point of health. As you kind of fall over a nasty root and land, cracking your elbow on a rock.
No.
And you're like, and your arm is like numb for like a good few minutes. And you're like, you've really jarred your whole arm. But by the time you all get back to the track, you are all in one piece still, pretty much. And you have the boy with you. And you can see coming up the track, you can see Anna and a couple of other people who you don't recognize. One is a man in a camo vest and trousers with boots, and he's got a rifle with him. And the other is a woman who looks in her 30s and wearing kind of outdoorsy clothes, but no guns.
Only we could signal them somehow.
And they come running up the track with torches. And there are occasionally along the track there are little lights, more for vehicles to avoid bumping into the sides kind of thing than illuminating the whole place. But they see you coming, and Anna's like, what? I went and found Trey, she says, pointing at the guy in camo, and Healy. They look at each other like when they're listed, right? Almost like they don't like to be listed in the same grouping. But clearly they're both capable people. They both seem physically fit and they're willing and here, right? So Anna's picked the right people. But you've already found the boy. And they're like, oh my God, you've found the boy. And Trey just says, well, clearly I'm not needed. And he just turns around and walks away.
Oh, buddy.
And Healy says, don't worry about him. And when he gets a bit further away, she goes, he's just an asshole.
I mean, we could lose the child again.
Jorge looks at you like, what? What? You're strange, robot dude. Like, he's Anna. I'm sorry to have caused such a ruckus and such a fuss, but these fine people have really helped me. I mean, they even hurt themselves, and that they've helped me out. They're amazing. And Anna says that it's thank you so much, guys, to all of you. And she comes over and gives Blake $10 back. Excuse me, sorry.
20%.
Friends and family discount, she says.
Yeah. Nice.
Look, to all joking aside, what you guys have done tonight is fantastic. Thank you for helping Jorge. Look, Jorge, take your boy, go down to the office. I'll find Rufus, and he'll come and Jorge looks a bit. He goes, no. Rufus takes that seriously, right? Don't worry. Rufus will come and sort him out, and we'll sort everything out. So don't worry. You go down there, and Healy says, look, I can help with the boy, and Anna says, aren't we all heading that way, actually?
In the grand scheme of things, yeah, let's go.
Yeah, we'll all head back that way. And then you guys are heading off to... Was it cabin 3, wasn't it? Says Anna.
Yeah.
And you all start walking back to the... You see Bob, and he's like, night, folks. As he kind of goes over... he goes to close his little ice box, and then he kind of stops and looks in there. And then he shakes his head and shuts it, and then goes in the RV and shuts it, and you hear it lock. You know, there's not many people around. It's quite quiet, you know, and you guys have just been tromping around, so all the animals have kind of sodded off elsewhere. And you head back down to the main parking area, and there Anna and Jorge take the boy into the office, and Healy's kind of standing there and says, "Hi, I'm Healy. I regularly camp here. It's one of my favourite spots." She's kind of gesturing around. It's really great. When in the daylight, you guys are going to love it tomorrow. It's fantastic. What you guys did is amazing. Like, the party's still going on, and she looks at her watch. It's like 10:30. Like, we can still go and get a drink if you guys want a drink. You come meet Devon. She's over there as well. A bunch of other people. You know, I think it's great. You know, this kind of community spirit that you people have. I mean, you just turn up. She's kind of like seems to be waiting for you guys to.
I'm up for a drink, definitely.
Yeah. I'll put my arm over her shoulder and be like, lead the way. You know, like
She's slightly uncomfortable.
Yeah,
I know,
fine.
and I know Blake doesn't really probably even register that, right?
Yeah.
But you guys start to head into the party area. As you do, you see who Rufus is, the dude with the red beard, and he's like coming along. It's like, hey guys, how's it going? You guys enjoying the party already? Fantastic stuff, dude. I'll like you. Points at Blake. You, I know you. I don't know how I know you, but I know you. Anyway, I've got to go. And he heads over to the office. And you go over, and there's a kind of stage area. It's not got a huge like backstage area. It's just got like a paneling at the back that maybe they might hang things from if they have certain bands or if they had, certain events going on. And there are a load of benches that are like those things. They're cut from a log kind of thing, done half log kind of benches. They're all pushed to the sides. There's some people sitting on them to the sides, and then there are a bunch of people just kind of enjoying themselves. And it's up to you whether you just want to while away the night and do it, or if you want to do anything.
Blake obviously wants to hold court and talk shit and, find the most drunk, high, smashed people and convert them. He's obviously he's workshopping this shit, so it's not quite finished yet.
Yeah.
He's got to try and get the good lines. And he does he does have a notebook for that. But unless there's anything pressing, that's Blake. He's gonna,
There's one guy who's dancing like this, right? And he's like near the stage. There's no one on the stage, but he's near the stage.
Yeah.
Right. And there's a couple of other people around him. They all seem to be dancing in their own little zones. Right?
Silent disco, but no headsets, right?
Yeah, right. And there is music playing, right? It's quite loud, and there's a bonfire. It's not a huge bonfire. It's not like some kind of sacrificial thing. It's a nice big bonfire. It's lighting and warming the whole area, so everyone's having a good time. There's groups of what look like locals because they're not like as campery dressed. Maybe they're from the little town you rolled through as you came in. But there are people who are kind of more camper clothed, check shirts and hard-wearing trousers, good boots, that kind of thing. And you see off to one side the guy in camo, Trey, who is kind of sitting, smoking off to one side, kind of staring around the area. Just kind of, he's drinking and smoking just off to one side on his own.
Does Trey look like a vet? Or does he just look like someone who likes wearing tactical
leisure gear?
You think you're not sure he's a vet. You think he's probably more of one of those kind of more recent survivalist folk.
Okay.
Yeah, who've read a lot, gone to the gym a lot, lived in the hills a bit, but probably never actually seen action.
Okay.
He's actually been to the gym as opposed to all of those that clearly haven't.
Well, yeah, he's taken it seriously enough to get himself in a fairly good state. Although he does seem to be necking the whiskey pretty efficiently. The kind of drugged up guys at the front are all sort of dancing around, and then there's 10, 20 locals kind of dancing and having fun, and occasionally they like go past and go, hey, and you can tell they're just drinking really and just having fun. And the kind of the night whiles on. They're about 10, 15 minutes in, Blake, one of the tripping guys comes over to you, sort of sees you and is like strangely drawn to you, and comes over and goes, hey dude, I'm Zip. Who the fuck are you?
I'm Blake. Who the fuck are you?
Blake. I'm Zip, man. Who are you?
This will go on for a good 10 minutes.
He's like, have some of this shit. And he like,
but at some point,
joint.
At some point, I'll be like, but how do you know you Zip, right?
I'm always Zip.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Like when you're asleep.
Rufus tells me, man, every day. Rufus tells me. That's all I need to know. The dude knows. He knows.
Yeah. I will ask him questions and challenges perception of person. Him as a
He seems to have
successfully or not.
He seems to have been in residence for a while with a group of them who all hang out with Rufus, who you get is like the chef, the doctor, the general store guy. He works with Anna, right?
Okay.
And does like loads of stuff around the place for Anna. He used to be a nurse, and he's done this. Oh, and he knows how to fix a car. He's just a generally good guy. He's like, and these little guys like help out, but get a cheap rate, but camp out in some tents. And you get the gist that pitch one is
Mhm.
probably where the stoners all kind of pitch up and stay and help out. And he's like, yeah, man, I've been here for like weeks. It's great, dude. When the sun comes up, or is it when the sun goes down? Either way, it's like, it's so beautiful. Like you've never. Oh, it's so beautiful. It's so good, man. Yeah, so good. And he goes, at one point he goes, "Ah," and he like looks. You look across, and one of the locals has got a Neurocaster on, and he's like, "None of that shit here, dude. You don't need that." And he throws like an empty
can.
beer can. It doesn't get anywhere near him, mainly because he's like a bit off. It gets far enough to have hit him, but it doesn't get anywhere near him. And he's like, they don't know all that artificial shit. It's you can't be the real thing. He says,
No.
dragging
Amen.
on his big spliff.
I have been preaching the word for many months now. Like, you can't.
Which word?
Well, that the Neuroscape is an artificial facsimile
You're
of
fucking right.
experience,
You're
and
fucking
nothing
right.
nothing can replace that. And I don't know, just start waffling with him for a good 10 minutes about
Cool.
what
You
is
guys
real
just,
and
like, chat.
yeah.
And like his
Yeah.
buddies kind of join in, and you're all like having this conversation about like what's real and what's not real and what's really real.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
Yeah.
And so on and so forth.
Okay. Anyone else doing anything?
So I'm looking for a guy who is a friend of mine. Do I know he went this way? Do I know he went to where we're going to?
He went up to he headed up the 101. He said he was going to hit the 101 and head up towards San Francisco, maybe Sacramento. He'd had enough of all the shit going on down in Santa Clarita and northern Los Angeles. It was all starting to heat up, and what he said was going to happen happened, right?
Yeah. So I presume I've got one of those like standard war movie photos of the two of us arm in arm.
Absolutely.
With
Absolutely.
So can I go and what's that guy's name? Tactical? He's Andre.
Trey.
Yeah. Can I go and I will. Is there beer available?
Yeah. There seems to be like a side with a, nothing fancy, like a cheap.
Lake's got a
Yeah,
beer if you want to take it.
There's a few
No.
ice chests with beers
A couple of
sticking out.
huskies. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll grab a couple of beers and go and sit next to Trey and do that thing. But this seat taken.
Go for it.
And I'll put
He
two
offers
beers
you a
down.
cigarette.
Oh yeah, I can do that. Thank you. I'll get out the photo. This is my friend.
All right.
I'm wondering if you've seen him. He came this way. I know he went north. We are going north, right?
Well, western north, but yeah, north basically. Yeah.
He's gone north. He told me he's gone north, but I don't know when. And he was my guy. He was my buddy.
May I?
Yeah, please.
He takes the picture and he's like, I don't know, but if he came through here, I would talk to Anna. She
Thank
would
you.
know, but there is something familiar about him.
I noticed you're sitting here all on your own, and everyone else is running around and dancing and fooling and smoking, and you just sit here. What's up, man?
Well, we all have our own way. I just, I'm not in my dancing shoes.
No, I hear you, brother. Yeah, we've all been there. I completely know where you're coming from. Would you rather I leave?
No, it's cool. It's cool. I'm just not, some of these people, and he sort of points at the hippies and some of the women. He's like, some of these people. Oh,
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, how about we try a companionable silence for a cigarette and a beer?
He clocks beers with you, and then sits there trying to look cool, smoking. You feel he is what's the word? In awe is slightly too strong a word, but he can tell you're the real deal, right? So he's like, it's almost like getting a bit like, oh yeah, cool, yeah, no, but he's trying to play it cool. So you can see.
I mean, and obviously, smoking is cooler anyway. So
absolutely, 20% more cool straight off.
Absolutely, yeah, yeah. So that's me.
Gain a gear dice to your cool roll.
Thank you.
We
yeah.
do not support smoking on Garblag Games. I'll just make that clear.
Absolutely. These are clove cigarettes. We're not inhaling.
No, we can role play real cigarettes. That's fine.
That's fine. And I'll speak to Anna in the morning. I'll just hang out with this guy because I don't really have my dancing shoes either. That's cool. Me for the evening.
Yeah. Over the evening, he does come across as quite opinionated. And although he loves this campsite, there are some people here that he doesn't like. Although he loves Bob. Bob's great for a chat about the old days, and he loves hearing those stories. But it's just in little conversations throughout the evening you get that kind of snippet of information from him.
Does he come across as someone who's sitting on his own because because he's too negative and nobody wants to sit with him?
I think it's a mutual thing. He doesn't want to sit with most of the people there. He's probably less liberal than most of them.
Yeah, I'm getting that vibe.
And he's not wanting to mix with them. But he's not being overly offensive. He's doing the kind of subtle thing of just sort of saying, I don't like those people and those people. But he's also not bothering them. Yeah,
I mean, being a veteran, I've heard a lot worse. So I can just ease through all of that.
Sure.
And that's me for the evening.
Okay, cool. Anyone else doing anything?
He's going to go surf the web.
Oh.
Had enough of this human interaction bullshit.
Okay.
Okay,
cool.
Park up somewhere and just zone out. Not really going anywhere in particular.
Just like staring off, like freak people out, just like.
I mean, that's pretty much what Talkie looks like most of the time. Talkie doesn't blink.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Wait, is it frozen or?
No.
What?
Aldoon, there's a problem with your camera. Okay, so you're going to go onto the global neuroscape.
Yeah, it's going to go hang out.
Right, so you're going to switch over to the global neuroscape, and you kind of, because when you're in your drone, you're kind of in the global neuroscape anyway, right? But like funneled through into your own little drone.
Yeah.
You kind of, it's almost like astral projection for you, right? It's kind of like a stepping out of your body, and you feel as if you lift up into a broader, lighter, more beautiful, messy, noisy neuroscape where everyone can dump in whatever they want, and it's not regulated very well, and people often get scammed and hacked, and there's all kinds of weird shit going on in the global neuroscape, which is actually why lots of people have their local ones with like a fortified port into the global, right? But saying that, here where you are, it's patchy connecting, but you hook up to the global neuroscape, and you just spend some time in there, like away from meat space, sweat, and you're kind of floating around the digital space. Make a wits roll, so you get the gear dice from your networking ability, +3, I think. Aldoon has reminded me on Discord that cigarettes actually allow you to recover a point of hope, but reduce your health by 1.
Like I said, I wasn't inhaling.
Yeah. Okay, so you got one success on the wits roll. There's some weird activity going on. There seems to be some sort of strange fractal diffusion going on through some of the nearby global neuroscape. There's something curious. It looks like it's almost creating its own internal neuroscape within the global neuroscape.
Let's zoom in on that.
Okay. It appears to you as a dark, multifaceted area, and a lot of avatars and users are kind of regarding it, right? And you get a sense of like this kind of traffic heading in this direction, yeah, of many users, and it kind of fades away suddenly.
I'll go update my blog.
There were a smattering of related GPS tags to this strange cloud that just seemed to evaporate back into the substrate of the global neuroscape, as if there were real world elements associated with it.
Could I snag any of those?
You can. And as you kind of bring them up in a very early version of Google Maps, you plot those out in an online GIS system, and you see that there's a smattering of them across Pacifica, right? And it's almost like lots of separate neurocasters linked to the global neuroscape started doing something together from afar. However, there were small clusters of them, and one of those was about 4 miles away from you.
4 miles. So not Bob and Margot.
No.
I will mark it on my internal map and then make sure I'm driving the van in the morning.
Seem to be up in the hills.
The others will not wish to go that way. That is a more problem.
That kind of takes you a while, and your blog update gets quite lengthy. Dennis, what's yeah, awesome. What's Rial up to?
Pretty much enjoying the vibe of this little community up here. This little group of people have come together and just being happy and merry together. It's not a common sight anymore. Like in real space as well. So yeah, definitely drinking that in as well as just copious amounts of alcohol.
Sure.
We'll maybe mingle with the locals a little bit, but it will probably not amount to more than just a little bit of chit chat.
Sure.
At one point, he will just put his back to the fire and look out into the woods, just drink that in a bit as well, and probably think to himself like, campground. Should have gone with that instead. And that passes the night that basically.
Brilliant. Cool. Okay. So you all settle down for the night. And you haven't gone up to your cabin yet, have you?
No.
So
if we had a key, I will have given it to Rial.
Sure.
Like I'm not.
So you're going to walk up to the cabin? Or are you going to drive up there, drop everything off, and then park back down at the
You don't have much. There's a set of binoculars and a cassette tape in the
Okay,
van.
so you walk up to the cabin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You walk up to the cabin with what possessions you have. All a bit hungry.
Snag a
but
few
it's
drinks from
it's
the
late.
from the
Yeah,
from
yeah,
the party.
absolutely. And you head up there, and there are these beautiful log. They're not like luxury, and they're not maybe fully waterproof, but they look that rustic log cabin style structure. Clearly had better days. Lots of moss on the roof, but when you get there, it looks sound. It looks safe. It looks like if you go in and lock the door, you're safe for the evening. And it kind of the track goes up the hill slightly, and you get a bit of a view out, so it's quite nice. You know, you can see some of the valley, probably down where you were finding the boy in a little crevasse, where you descended from the other side. It's almost like it's kind of goes up both sides. And you get to the cabin and you open it up. It's a bit dusty, but it's all in working order. You find the sheets and blankets, you know, in the cupboard. Pillows, give them a good whack. Everything seems to be in order. There's a TV, you know, there's power. They've obviously got lines going up here, and fridge, kitchenette, you know, all the stuff that you'd want. Think Center Parks, but more log cabin. And yeah, it's pretty good. There's a few beds. There's a big sofa. Take your pick.
Whichever is the master room is mine.
Shotgun the sofa.
Like if there's a room with a bigger bed, anything that's slightly better than the other ones, that's my bed.
Whatever is comfy is left is fine with Real as long as he can lay down.
Okay. Okay.
Atticus prefers to sleep in a chair.
Cool. A chair. There's a nice recliner in the lounge area.
Oh, does it have like a kickstool that comes out and you lean back?
Yeah, pops
I'll
out.
take the lazy boy.
Yeah, lazy boy.
Tonky is going to position himself so he's just staring straight at Atticus.
Well, the thing is that's fine because Atticus has the occasional night terror, so you know. Yeah. So yeah, we're ready and waiting.
Twonky staring at, and Atticus has a small arms. It's gonna go well.
Yeah.
So well.
Okay, so you all find places to crash, sleep, lie down, switch off.
There will
Deactivate.
be, before anybody goes to bed, like some sort of witty, not at all witty or quip thing, but Blake, I can't even get my character's name. That's how shit-faced he is. Can't even remember who he's supposed to be. Yeah, but he will dispense some wisdom about sleeping in a proper bed when you're about to go on a long journey, because he's done touring, and so he's gonna, you know,
Yep.
make sure everybody knows he's wise about this.
You'll look after your back.
Yeah,
The
go look
first-
after your back.
First sensible thing you've said.
You must be.
Being,
Yeah.
being ex-military, Atticus is asleep even before before the seminar occurs.
But, yeah, little luxuries. Lap them up while you can, brothers.
Okay. So you all deactivate or switch off or whatever. Atticus, you're sitting on the lazy boy in the lounge area. Could everyone else take your headphones off, please?
No.
What I do.
So, it's the middle of the night. you're awoken. You're having a moment. One of the horrible memories that you have from that darkest time of your life. And even when you wake up, it's gone. You can't remember what it was. You're just left with that horrible feeling that you have following you wherever you go. And you're like, oh, and you look up and there's Twonky standing in front of you, that inane grin on his face. And you like nearly go for your weapon, but you're like, stop yourself. And then you hear noises. You can hear Blake snoring upstairs very faintly. But you also hear a tree fall. And it makes a noise because you hear it.
I was just thinking.
In the distance, far away, you hear like that cracking. And then you hear some sort of like noise in the distance. And you're like, what the fuck? And that noise takes you back. Reminds you of like drones running on silent, or tanks moving through, like, drone tanks moving through a forest. They were kind of repulsor tech and all that kind of stuff would have this kind of weird noise. And suddenly you've found your weapon. You're at the door before you've even realized what's going on. And as you look out, the kind of, you pull the little, it's got the little curtain, and it's got the little square windows, as one might imagine. And you look across the valley to the other side where the pitches are, right? Down in the valley, the fire is down. So they've managed to persuade Rufus to go to bed. And you can see red lights, lots of small pinpricks of red light moving around in the trees on the far side of the valley, up over on that track where you were before.
Me now? Yeah.
Yep.
Twonk, wake up.
You get a report. You wake up. Your meat bag wakes up. Oh, sorry. Aldoon. Here we go. Sorry. Let's put that in Discord. He's just sorting it out. You good?
Really good.
Okay.
Really good.
You get a report that something metallic is banging on the head of your drone pilot. You wake up and you immediately kind of auto go back into Twonky state.
Startup mode initiated.
Yeah, I want to make sure everything I'm seeing and hearing is real. Stick your head out the window. Do you see that red light, red light, red light, red light? And that sound,
you're confused, right? And your human pilot is like still waking up. So all their inputs, like, it's even like, it's even slightly,
Booting.
more disorientating.
Booting.
And you look out the window, and across the valley where the pitch places were on the far side, you can now see kind of high up in that area, like red lights moving in the trees. You can't. It's quite dark, right? So you can't see. It's like clouds have come over. The moon is going down. The angle of the shadows, that side of the hill is dark, but you can see these red dots, and then you hear the snap of a tree.
I am perceiving lights and hear sounds as of the motion of something large.
Great. I'm not imagining it this time. Um, we should probably
Back to sleep.
that's not my first choice. We should probably wake the others. Well, definitely Rael.
Okay, you gonna wait, Riel?
Yeah, I mean, he said upstairs, so is Rael upstairs? Or oh, he said the sofa, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Rael, headphones. Or well, sorry.
I put it in Discord,
Hey.
Matt. Okay.
Hello?
You wake up.
Rael, something's happening.
What?
Large things coming. Lots of red lights, and
It's like 3
think-
a.m. now.
I think shit's about to get real.
Ready. Pardon that pun. Grab my pistol.
Okay. You kind of go to the bedroom window.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry, no, you're on the sofa, right? Or in your bed.
anywhere comfy.
Okay, there's a big sofa. So you go over to the Twonkies there, looking out the window, and you kind of go over, look out the window, and you can see across the valley dark shadows of the hills and little red pinprick lights over there. They're the only lights over there. There's one or two little yellow lights further down, but there's lots of red lights, and they're sort of moving around as if aimless. And then you hear the crack of a tree, and it falls. And it's so quiet around here, and peaceful and serene. You can hear that from over here.
What is this?
Yeah, that's not good, is it? That's the. Do we have any idea as to what this is?
Yeah. You probably think it's one of these strange things people have been talking about with roamers and drones connected with black cords wandering the countryside that are stories and nonsense, but Atticus knows otherwise. Twonky
Yeah.
suspects. Rial, I mean, they're good stories, right?
Yeah.
How far away are they?
Blake's snoring in the corner.
Yeah, can we wake the prophet up?
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
I think Rob was trying to stop that, but Dennis, you go over.
No. Yeah, absolutely. I don't want to. I don't want to wake Blake up, but I don't want Millie sitting there.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool.
I wish to meet the emergent entities.
You want to meet those things?
We do not know what they are. They are
Rial wakes up Blake.
Lights outside the window. Blake, not good. Have a look.
I will look.
There are red lights drifting around on the top pitches on the other side of the valley where those went up. That hillside's in shadow, but you can see little red lights moving around. And a crack of trees as they get pushed over.
This
The tree
feels like
thing
a
is only
bad
every now
crowd.
and then. Right? It's like
Hostile crowd. Bad audience, man. Bad vibes. Big bad vibes.
Are they getting closer?
well, I think we're going to leave the episode there.
Okay.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
So you're all, the camera kind of pulls out as you're all standing at the window of this log cabin, and you can see across, and maybe a reflection in the glass is the little red lights that you're looking at across the valley.
Yeah.
I'm glad we did not camp.
All right. Yeah. Poor Bob and Margot.
True.
And
Yeah, cool. Okay, well, thank you very much, guys. That was lots of fun. And thank you very much to our viewers. If you're watching this back on YouTube, then please don't forget to check out all our links below. Come and join us on our Discord, where we've got over 700 people talking about role-playing games and all kinds of shenanigans. And
sorry, Pete. Can I just say one thing? Sorry.
Sure.
It's my birthday today.
Oh,
Just wanted
happy
to
birthday.
say I just wanted to say thank you to Michelle for acquiescing to do birthday things another day and not today.
Oh, thank you.
Awesome. Well, There you go. Role playing on your birthday. That's good.
Yeah.
Happy
Okay.
birthday.
Thank you.
Join the Discord and wish Rob a happy birthday from the future. And then also we've got links for our Patreon and everything. If you like what you're seeing and you want to support us, then please check those out as well. Okay, but we are done for tonight. Thank you again to my players. We will see you all in 2 weeks' time for part 2 of Stop 1, A Missing Boy. See you next time. Bye-bye.